Giancarlo Alhadeff, you're the founder and principal of an architectural studio in Italy, which you've been running for 21 years. What is your principal work these days?
These days, mostly residential. We started our practice mainly doing renovation work, both commercial and residential. But in the past few years, we've been doing mostly residential. New construction. The main work we've done is in Turkey. We did some resort homes in Bodrum, in the Bodrum Peninsula, and it was quite involved. But that's mainly what we do.
You also work extensively in Japan and most recently in Egypt.
Yeah, well, Japan sort of came up because I grew up. I spent a substantial amount of time growing up in Japan, and through certain meeting of people, I kept going back. I speak a little bit of Japanese. It does feel like home in a funny way. And so I've been involved with several projects there, and it's been very rewarding to be part of a different culture. Cairo is a kind of a new development. Through our work in Turkey, a client sought me out, and so we're starting this new adventure in a new, different country. Even though we're based in Italy, in fact, most of the work that I do is abroad.
Just thinking of architecture in Japan and Turkey, and of course Cairo too, these seem like wildly different cultural, artistic traditions. Are you following the local tradition in any sort of way, or are you doing modern designs in each of these places?
That's a very interesting question. I think that there's a great deal that has been talked about in terms of this issue. I tend to be, I would say, a modified modernist. I do believe in modernism, but I do believe in listening to what the local culture says. For instance, I don't believe in copying slavishly some cultural importance of a cultural element of a country. When working in Japan, I did learn a lot of Japanese simplicity and Japanese way of doing things. I've taken that, and in my work in Turkey, I try to introduce the same sort of simplicity, the same calming effect in the environments. But I don't believe in easily taking cultural elements from one culture and transposing it to another, or even repeating cultural elements of one culture within it from different periods. It's as if you were, because I live in Italy, I would copy the Renaissance or copy some elements from the past. I think we have to find a new way going forward.
Do you think that if one of your, say, your clients from Turkey went to Japan and was confronted with one of the houses, say, that you had done there, they would say, oh, that kind of looks familiar, I recognize something about that?
Exactly. I think there is a common thread. Part of it is because I grew up, I was born in Egypt and grew up part of the time in Italy and in Japan and spent a lot of time in the United States. So in a way, I've kind of been bombarded with so many different influences that I think I'm sort of a mixture, and I think that comes through in my work.
Is the mixture helpful or a hindrance?
Another good question. Sometimes it's very confusing. Sometimes it's very confusing, and sometimes I act as a bit of a chameleon. I know so much about the person who I'm talking to that I try to be like that person. So one has to always remember that in fact you're not. You are something else, but it can be confusing.
Do you have clients in the main, this is now cutting across all the cultures, who really know what they want, or are they more kind of sort of loose and show me what you can do, and then you show them what you think they want?
Yeah, I find that the best way to get a client is really to show them what you can do for them. Clients are interested to see roughly what you do, but then they really want to see what it is specifically you think for them. The best thing you can do for a client is to show them your solution to their problem. That will get you the job usually. It doesn't really work to say, this is what I've done in the past. Their attention drops, their eyes glaze. They're not that interested, I think.